أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارزقنا في الدنيا حبك وحب ما يقربنا إليك والاستقامة كما أمرت وفي الآخرة رحمتك ورؤيتك لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Now, it is the continuation of the last week's discussion of those people who have who attended the last week. They know what we have talked about. Inshallah, they remember. But we will continue according to and try to answer the questions last week brothers sisters asked. So now we touched upon this topic, whether how we should see the order and whether attribute the creation, the things to the order, or what is the order in creation. How, so say, what do you understand when we say the order? Any comments from anybody? What do you say order? What is order in the universe? Of course, we are talking not order in New York City. Let's forget about it. So it's so difficult and complicated. So, but the universe's order is not very complicated, although very deep and fine-tuned, but not complicated. So, okay, what do you understand from order? What is that?
Order to me seems like we talk about the relationship and interconnectedness of created things and the system that manifests to us as created beings as what people say cause and effect because of the relationship or interconnectedness of the system of created things.
Now, while you are talking, let's learn also not the English language, but the way to reason, okay? While you are talking, it attracted my attention that while you were trying to define what order is, you use the word created things. Without really knowing what the order is, how can you talk about created? So you have to establish whether they are created or not. That's the first step. So because some people say the order is the creator. So when you say the created things, it has its own, if you like, pre-constructed ideas behind it. Whereas we have to understand that whether they are created, that's why we start from order. How do we see the order? The things, rather than saying created things. Yeah. The objects, because as a human being, when I look at the world and I look at myself, etc., I see all the objects. Okay, I have to analyze it. I see that there is order in the, if you like, this universe consists of objects. But these, of course, we all study at least from the college level, at least. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. But you know that all disciplines study, concentrate on order, to find out order. So we have to understand what is the order. Now, how do we see the order? Yeah. How do you make sense of the order? Does it really make, can you really say that this is just as it is, or this is prepared, purposefully designed But what makes you be convinced? What idea seems to be convincing for you? You have studied, yeah, most of you have studied order in the universe. Of course, the secular science always relate to things, to other things. It means an object of, an element of order to another element of order. Explains the order within itself. They don't explain the order itself. Do you see the difference? Do you see that? They don't explain the order itself. They say there is a door here, but the door is easy to open because there's a hinge on it. Then the hinge moves easily. There's a physical rule there, you know, because the hinge doesn't really stop something moving like the ground, etc. But we are talking about the whole system itself. How do you see that? Or simply, do you think that the order itself is the creator of its own being? How do you explain the order? Not the elements within the order. For the moment, we are not talking about it. Ibad is scratching his head. What kind of question can I find here?
Can you give a practical example?
Practical example. For example, when you say, you know, I feel a pain in my eye, you go to the doctor and the doctor says, you know, because your tension or blood pressure is low and high, that's why you feel a pain. But we are not talking, you know, why do you feel a pain in your eye or in your mind? We are talking about something happens, and then as a result of something happens, and altogether makes you your existence. You exist in an order, can you not? You exist in an order, do you not? Tarek, we will think.
Okay, so to try to answer your question, it seems like from looking at the objects in the universe, it seems like everything fits within an overall structure that cannot be understood except having somebody overseeing the overall structure, sort of putting it all together. Because like you mentioned once before, like even the apple needs the sun and the galaxy and the other galaxies and everything else in the universe for it to exist. Not just the tree, the water, the everything, and the water needs the... So the order of the objects seems to indicate that there is an overall power, so some entity with the power to put all these things together for it to work.
The power, you said, there must be something behind it, huh? You say power.
I agree, and I would take it a step further, right? So when you're saying...
Are you aware that you are agreeing with an Egyptian?
You
have to be very careful. No,
I disagree.
You will not, you know. You will find yourself in trouble. So it's like, you agree, yeah? Further.
So when we take
ahead.
the aspect of order, right? Everything, order itself meaning this whole system works in harmony, right? There's a predictable pattern to it. That tells me there's not only a power behind it, but there's only one power behind it. Because of the harmony within the existence, the order within the existence.
Yeah. There's something behind it. Some people say this became, and because of the attacks on certain understanding, that design. So we feel, I feel that when I use the word, there is a designer of the order. Definitely, they will put me in the category of this design theory. Yeah, so this intelligent design. So I cannot really defend it. So this particular theory, I cannot really defend it. And we are going to, inshallah, into details of this theory. Not this theory, the answer to it. Why don't we agree with the understanding of intelligent design or design? So we know that if something is consciously done, but I haven't seen you, consciously done, there is a will behind it. If something is meaningful, there is a will behind it. It means it has been chosen. But Ahab's question is more important because he's doing the most important duty, holding. Okay.
I actually wanted to use the actual, or another meaning for order. Order means to command, right? So God commanded the universe to be the way it is, and He's the only one that can command it.
Created things, and she got a lot of criticism. What do you think of God? What is God? Where did you get the God? We are going to it. We are not coming from it. So, really, we should try to avoid while we are reasoning. When we were praying Salat al-Maghrib, you start with God. Allahu la ilaha illahu. But after Salat, when you come to the class, you have to confirm what you said during the prayer. So don't bring God into the discussion as a starting point. You have to come to it. We've got to learn this language. We have to confirm it. We are just looking at the universe. I'm seeing things. But strange. I found that they are acting in order. Right? So that was a very interesting point you started. One of the meanings of order is command. Yeah? But I don't know whether we can go into this aspect of the matter. But we can, of course, bear in mind that the existence is taking place as a result of something which operates in the form of command, not physical touching. In Arabic, mubashara, not mubashara. Mubashara means not really moving something with a physical connection. For example, putting this one there, or bringing something from here, putting there, building up something, any physical connection. What we see, the order is operating without physical connection. The things are, if you like, in quote unquote, magically happening. Magically happening. Do you understand what I mean, magically happening? It means no one is coming and, for example, this building has not come into form of a building, not existence, into form of a building magically. The people worked on it. You put the things that something, the machines or something else, physically touched, maybe physically means electrical power, gravity, magnetic power, all physical things, existence. But the whole universe, the order of the whole universe is operating with no physical interference and touching. That was a very interesting word you used. The order can only be explained in terms of, if you like, will, with the Quranic word, or amr, irade, amr. It means, I'm using them, not an evidence, but relate to it. When you read in the Quran the word amr, when you read in the Quran the word irade or yuridu, or all the derivations of the same word, erade yuridu. So this derivation, know that this is referring to the reality we are observing in the universe, that the things are coming into existence and taking the different shapes. We are not doing anything wrong, really. So the things are coming into existence with no physical interference, is changing in a functional way. It means the order of the building is not destroyed. It is not corrupted. It's not collapsed. Yeah, but the building is always ready to be used. But the rooms are changing. Maybe the halls are changing, etc. Or the electric system is changing, but always perfectly ordered. So we are observing in the universe an interesting, amazing phenomena, which is called order, continuously subject to change, but order never changes. Do you see the difference? Is it clear? It must be. It must be. We have to be very comfortable about it. But if you are not clear, we have to talk about it more. About this one or something else, because brother has the.
No, just to clarify, maybe, so would an example of this change yet consistent order be like seasons? Every day, the sun is slightly different, yet it follows this pattern or something.
You were a baby, I think, once. Yeah.
Maybe. Hopefully.
And then you were a child. Yeah, and you are a young guy now. Hopefully, inshallah, let's put it now. You will be an old guy, but still strong and healthy. Look, you are a human being, and your being a human being is existing is in an order. Yeah? You have ears, eyes, and systems, etc. Although you are changing from babyhood to an old person, but order of a human being a human being, remains. I think yes, you're.
So one question I have is when you define order, do you say, is it in a scientific way of saying that what's observed, is it like the laws of the universe, gravity, etc., or do you mean things that are not observed as well?
Doesn't matter. It starts from a simple idea that brother said, apple. In the existence of the apple, there's an order. Do you see that? But the details, what are we going to do, from apple to whether the angels or the spirit is, no. First we have to establish the concept, and we have to be clear that the universe, whatever you see, however you describe it, do you see it, that it is existing within an order, and this order is continuously changing, but order never changes. So I'm trying to understand, because many explanations, even so-called the laws of nature, which I don't agree, there is no such thing. There is order, not natural laws, but there is an order. Somebody calls it to and attributes it to nature. I said, what do you mean by nature? Because I'm talking about the universe itself. Okay, your turn, yeah.
Just to clarify and contrast it, what would a lack of order at a universal level look like? Because to me, like, it's hard to grasp what we mean, what we're saying by order. Like, this is all we know, right? So what would not order be?
So what we are trying to see, something is happening in this world, does not surprise me. It means, for example, I am here, tomorrow I am in a moon-like place, or my existence doesn't have any consistency. But anything chaotic, we call it. So we don't see chaos. The people used to say, of course, on the time change, everything can be explained with an order. Now everybody knows this. So even the movements of the stars on the wind, and nothing chaotic. Nothing chaotic. Everything is taking place with an order, and this order is happening without any interference, physical interference. And so I have to explain, including my own existence, how to explain it.
You're equating predictability with order, right? So, for example, if I picked up someone from the 10th century and put them in today, their first instinct would be, this is chaos. Because people walk out of a plane, they weren't there before.
We are not talking that we see chaos. This is not chaos. But do you agree that the universe is within an order? Do you see that? There is an order. The sun is there, the moon is there, human beings are here and growing, etc. Everything is existing within an order. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if I understood it. I hope I did. I'm kind of afraid of you a little bit, that you're going to tear me apart.
I can't promise that I wouldn't. No. So we don't know. Let's see.
The way I'm kind of trying to imagine it in my head is, so we need rain. We need rain, and again, necessity, right, needs to be created. We need rain in order to, stay hydrated, for things to grow, etc. There's nothing physically intervening to put that rain there. Day by day, even if it doesn't appear, things are able to continue on their daily routine, and eventually that rain comes and then gives water to the things that need that water. Or the sun is another example. These are things that we need, and nothing is physically intervening to make these things occur. Is that kind of close?
So this is what we see. There is an order, and this order is taking place with no physical interference, but the order in the universe altogether. Okay? The complete universe is existing. Be careful with the word. Existing within an order, and this order has no physical interference from anywhere whatsoever. So it amazes me, and I can explain this conscious being or conscious happening, deliberate happening, only attributing to a conscious will. Somebody, something has decided that this order should exist, or decided to. No, my English doesn't know. Somebody willed it to exist consciously. Oh, that is a good expression. Somebody willed it to exist consciously. That's my human conclusion.
I think, one way I understand it is, order is matter behaving the same way under the same conditions. So if I have
We are talking about the creation.
right,
Yeah.
right. Meaning, when I say matter, things that even the word creation, right?
In the universe.
Right. Anything around us behaving the same way under the same conditions.
So that's
I think
but
can be-
we are trying to understand the existence of this order.
No, I'm sort of responding to what the brother was asking about. If this is order, what would disorder or lack of order be? I think if under the same conditions you have fire and wood and them interacting, without water or anything, and it burning, but tomorrow it doesn't. Because
we know that there is an order in the universe. That's what we have to establish. That we have to be aware of it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by order, right? So, I don't get what you mean by order. So can you like explain without using the word order? Do you mean change happening, but in a pattern? Change in a pattern?
Not chaotic. Maybe brother wants to say that as well. For example, when you come here, When you look at this machine, for example, you know that. Sorry?
The screen went.
Or didn't like me. Okay, it may come out. So you know that it is working with order, not disorder. It means meaningful happenings, meaningful, purposeful happenings, not meaningless. In the universe, you look at the universe, everything is under control. I don't know who is controlling it, but everything is under control. And deliberately done, purposefully acting, whatever the objects in the universe are. Atoms are acting in a purposeful way. You can make really good formula out of them. You can really study them because they have, maybe brother was saying, patterns. So you see that nothing happening haphazardly, chaotically, in an meaningless, unpredictable, conscious choice, like the machine, or it's a conscious choice, deliberately done. We know while looking at it, can you say this doesn't have a will behind its existence? Conscious will. Somebody preferred to put this there, to put that there. There is a will behind it. So the main point is, by looking at this universe comfortably, can we say that this order is made, prepared, preferred by a conscious will? That's what my human capacity says, yes.
Doesn't it have to be? For something to exist, it has to be brought into existence, and it cannot be brought into existence on its own. And so that in itself is the definition of order, right? That there's this order to the creation of things that exist. They don't necessarily have to be harmonious. Spontaneous, chaotic things come to exist, and it's the creation of that existence that is the order. And if you take that logic far enough back, everything has to come into existence through, I guess, a will or a force or an intention or something.
Preferred, yeah?
A verb.
Not this way.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Of any sort of verb of action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this way, but the conscious, because it is a consciously made, meaningfully, purposefully, actions are going on in this existence, in this universe. So, what is the point? Very simple. This slide is very simple. We have to be very careful about the existence of order. We cannot attribute the existence of anything within this order to order itself. So you cannot say, sister gave an example of raining, the rain. We cannot say clouds or gravity or temperature change made the water evaporate or become solid, how do you say, then condensed and then drop. This is the order. How can you attribute the existence of a part of the whole to another part? It is also existent. The Qur'an, we studied last week. The things you are ascribing divine power, it means making it responsible for the existence of another thing, is itself being created. All the verses we studied last week. So it made sense. I said, oh, we need to explain this. What is going on in the world now? They call it philosophy or science or whatever you say, different disciplines, are ascribing the part of the whole order, but I made a mistake. Nobody pointed out. Existence, look at existence of the part of this machine, attributing the existence to another part. Those two parts, they are called cause and effect. In the terminology, they call it cause and effect. Because in our observation, they seem to be cause and effect. And the existence of one part is the part of the order, and the other part which we attributed to is another part of the same order. It is illogical, and mostly people are establishing their argument on this false, illogical base. So can I attribute, this is that, I don't want to lose the slide again. The connection is weak, I think. Okay. Can I attribute the existence of this part to another part of the same whole? And same whole seems to be coming into existence as a result of, I shouldn't touch it, sorry, distracts the attention. Okay. The same whole makes the whole order, and this order needs to be explained. Again, I made the mistake. The existence of this order needs to be explained. The whole order. So when you look at the universe, definitely I cannot attribute the existence of the sun to the moon, or the moon to another galaxy. They are all the part of the same whole order. And I'm questioning the existence of the order, than human mind. So my body works in its, you said an example, my body works in its own entirety. So I say, for example, my levers made my nose, whereas my whole system, being a human being as an existent object here, is within an order. And this order itself needs a conscious will behind its existence. I cannot say that one part of the whole system is responsible for the existence of another part, like the windows are making the doors. This causal chain is to be challenged, and the Qur'an challenges it. We will come there, and we will see that the Qur'an is speaking really from the very foundation of the matter. We will see that. But for the moment, we are really preparing our mind. So it's a continuation of the way, to get used to asking this kind of fundamental questions. For example, when you look at the order, if you say the order is a creator, if you can say, well, I mean, if somebody says that, I would say you would better go to a mental hospital or something. The whole universe, the order is the creator. Order is made. Order itself needs to be made because it is a conscious operation. Okay, so if we cannot say the order is the creator, so it is illogical. It needs to be created. And given existence, created means given existence. We are not talking about who gave existence or Allah gave existence. No, it is given existence. Okay, the continuation of the same reasoning. What's ordinary, normal? What is extraordinary, unusual? So, any idea? But when we say we are used to this word, it's normal. You know, it's the weather is getting cold. Normal. It's spring. You know, it's September is almost to finish. So fall is you know in the corner. So of course we will get cold and we better get you know prepare clothes, etc. Why? It's normal. We discussed about this, but I don't want to. Why I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. What is normal? Anybody? To me, excuse me, nothing is normal. Nothing. Nothing is normal as we understand. Normal means, you know, it happens, why not? You know. Now, of course, if you hit the wood, it makes noise, it's normal. No. It's not normal. When I hit here, and the air waves then, and then hits my here something in it, I don't know, meat, piece of different kinds, and I understand, well, understanding exists. Are they normal? You go crazy if you really think about it. They are, everything in the universe is extraordinary. Extraordinary. Why? You cannot really, how do you say, get away with it by saying, you know, it happens always like this. But it happens always like this. And that's why they say they get the gun in their hand and then kill people there. In the war, you have to kill. You have to kill everybody. It's the war. It's always like this. Can you say this? It shouldn't. Nothing always happens because accidental. So it's normal. But if you say it is within the order, which is deliberately given existence by a conscious will, then you say, what happened? It is deliberately created, given existence by a conscious will. That the system, the whole order. It happens only in order to make this, everything must be as it is. Perfectly. The universe in its own entirety, you cannot see anything simply by saying, this is ordinary. You know, water is ordinary. Something, I don't know, air is ordinary being, nothing is ordinary. How can you explain the existence of one single air molecule? Huh? It is happening within the order and a part of the order. Whoever gave existence to the order, it's happening there. It is also within the intention of this conscious will that something hits and the human beings, as we are experiencing now, will hear it and be aware of. That is deliberately, consciously, purposefully made by the conscious will. Would you like to make a comment on? Yeah.
The thing is, you could theoretically explain all of this by just explaining the order. Like, at least grossly, everything that we see, even though it is still technically following the ordinary rules, like when you hit the wood and you hear the noise, like you could theoretically explain every part of it. And if you kind of go back further, then you could say, oh, well, where did ears come from? And then people would say, oh, evolutionarily they arose out of, you know.
When you use the technical word, okay, evolutionary, something like this, I don't understand them. Because I understand the whole system, it is taking place within the whole system. Okay? By naming it, you refer to a purposeful interpretation of the events. So I avoid all these technological terminologies. I say, look, to be able to explain a part of the order doesn't mean that you explain the source of existence of that phenomena. For example, everybody knows how the window works, or how the, I don't know, how the door works, okay? Opens and closes, etc. So it is, I can explain it. Here is something, you know, that it vertical, etc., the gravity, yeah? You explained how it is functioning within the order, but the question is, what is the source of the existence of the order? That this order includes that particular action in it. However you explain the whole order, it is included in it. Now we will go into the details now. This order happened only once and stopped. So functioning by itself, or how? Now this one. Resting God on the completion of creation, because we can bring the concept of God now into our discussion if we are satisfied that the order in general needs a conscious will. That conscious will we call God. That is the creator, a creator. All right? There must be a creator, which we described so far as a conscious will behind the existence of the. So this creator, look at the universe, and this creator is not functioning with a material connection. It's not really doing something. Which kind of creator can it be? It, I am saying, consciously, not he, or never she. No, we wouldn't let God to be she. Huh? No, it's God is up from our side, out from this side, not that side. So, it, all right. These are irrelevant discussions. You know, I'm just laughing at them. You know, it's comic, nothing serious. So, this God, it. Which kind of source can it be for you as a human being, so that it is giving existence to the whole order, including everything in it, without touching, without time and space connection? Because the order itself makes the time and space. We are looking for the existence of this time and space. Which kind of source can it be?
It has to be a source that is not of the kind of the universe.
Because this universe is itself,
Always.
anything within the universe is subject to time and space limitations and subject to change. They are being changed within the order. Be careful. Within the order, they are being changed. So the one who gives existence to the whole order with its all particularities or parts, operating over them with no time and space limitations. How can you describe this, mathematicians? Infinite. Infinite. So, can we?
I want to just elaborate on what the sister was saying about explaining the order with the order itself, I guess. the way I look at it, it's like saying, you know, what caused the heart. It's the what caused the heart to pump blood. It's the circulatory system. It's that's explaining how it's working. It's not explaining, you know, what is causing it to work. I think when we say like nature or evolution, or we're ascribing agency to them. They're not agents.
Brother, excuse me. We have to be very careful with our languages, with our vocabularies. It doesn't explain how. It doesn't explain how the things are coming into existence. Any science cannot explain how the things are coming into existence.
I
They
don't think
are
it's how they work.
observing the order. That's it. They are observing the order. That's it. Just seeing there is something here, there is another thing is, but they are all together, working, but they are not explaining really by attributing. Let's be, this is a very common disease that we attribute how to science, why to religious. Idiotic to me, self-contradictory. So by saying that something, for example, how do you say, heart is pumping because of the muscle structure. Okay, they have a certain tissues. No, not because of that. The certain tissues and the pumping of the heart all together is given existence within an order. You cannot attribute a part of the order to another. But if one says, how the one who gave this universe an existence which functions within an order, I am understanding his way of giving existence to the object. I am studying the heart, and he created the heart, he created the tissues, he created the quality of the tissues, and the quality itself is created by the same one. We cannot attribute a cause, an effect to cause it, we see it. No, this explanation, they are cheating us. We are explaining how the things are coming into existence. You are not explaining how the things are coming into existence. You are just observing the whole system. So, how the things are coming into existence can only be told not by attributing any effect to another piece of the same order, cause, which is called cause. So this cause and effect, and the correlation between the cause and effect, and especially it turns into a determinism. And we lost the order, and we attributed the existence of an object A to another object within the order B, and said A is responsible for the existence of B. Is it? Can the muscle itself be the source of existence of the quality of its own self? We studied this. It is illogical. Now, and for example, atom itself is the creator of the quality of its own self. It is illogical. We are brainwashed to use this vocabulary, saying that this is the cause and effect relationship. It's not the cause and effect relationship. But if someone says, you know, for example, I know that heart is working like this, but it is being given existence as I observe it by the one who created the whole order of the universe. You cannot attribute any piece to another, and you can just say, I am observing what's going on in this world. You cannot attribute one object to another, because the whole system is given existence by one infinite source. By one infinite source. You have to attribute the existence of every part of this universe, to the same source. Whatever you call it. Qur'an calls it huwa, it. It means it. Qur'an calls it huwa, it. That source is responsible for every single event. You want to say? You are brave enough. You are not going to shout. Yeah.
No, I was actually just going to refute a little bit, not you, but the relationship that the argument of cause and effect. If the people who argue cause and effect were actually to think of the way we're kind of thinking of it in terms of today's discussion, then there would be no cause. Because a cause is a source, but an effect is basically the outcome of a cause. So everything's actually an effect, because the heart and the pumping comes from the heart, so they say, but the heart is an effect in and of itself. So it's a constant chain of effects till you get to an ultimate source that they're never going to get to until they come up with an ultimate source.
We will discuss that. It is a good point. We cannot really say, but I really loved this consciousness. Everything in this world is an effect. Cause, not in this world. That is, okay, we can stop. Finish. Right, that is the end. You know, it's very important. Now, everything in this world is an effect, nothing cause. The cause is it. The one conscious will prefer the universe to come into existence as we see. And here it is. So the Quran goes on. Who's going to read it? Look at the precision of the Quranic verse now. I really admire it. So somebody would please read it. So native, well, so prefer native.
يسأله من في السماوات والأرض كل يوم هو في شأن.
Look at what he says. What is he saying? Let's read the translation and, talk about it. Okay? Anybody? No one knows how to read English?
I can read
Okay, can you? MashaAllah. Very good.
I graduated college just for this.
Sorry. Yeah. Slowly and articulate.
On him depends all creatures in the heavens and on earth, and every moment he manifests himself in yet another wondrous way.
So what does it mean? On the one we said it. Thank you. So on it depends all things. But of course, the language used creatures, or that's not in the original. يسأله من في السماوات والأرض. Whatever exists in the world, maybe a particle, maybe an atom, maybe a cell, maybe a human being, or another plant, or whatever, or the galaxies. Man means everything. Depends on it. Depends all things, all effects. In the heavens and earth, it means in the universe altogether. And have you noticed the precision of the language of the Quran? And every moment, let's change the language, it manifests itself in yet another way. Extraordinary way. Wondrous way. That's why they put it. Because everything is extraordinary. Yeah. That is why we had to go back to order and what's ordinary, what's extraordinary, etc. So we have to understand this. Every single thing must be directly related to its source of existence, not horizontal relationship. Not this cause made this. This cause made this. No, no. You cannot. Because everything is coming into existence momentarily. Because nothing is static. We always talk about this. In the universe, nothing is static. You cannot capture one moment and keep it. No one. Continuous running, if you like, continuous flowing of existence. No one can say, oh, this one object is, not moving, fixed. No. It means really every moment, kulle yawmin. They call it, actually, moment means here, ion. How do you spell it? I-O-N? Ion. Yeah? Not the iron. So, every moment, the one who is giving existence to this universe is in operation. Where? In each particle of the universe. It means this is for us. This is for us. It means I cannot think of the Creator doing it, because He's not doing it with hands or doing any means, no tools. Because you see the universe, is there any interference? Nothing. It just exists. We are questioning the source of its existence. That's why He wills in an infinite way, unlimited way, absolute way. So the Quran tells me, tells the reader, its reader, look at the universe, look at the existence of everything. You can only attribute the existence of anything at every moment, to the conscious will of the source of existence of this universe. That's why you have to say, if you call it as God, well, because we incline that anything not of the nature of this universe, who is the source of the existence of this universe, is in this language God. So God is in operation in every moment over everything. You cannot, He's telling me, the source, this book is telling me, you cannot explain the existence of anything but attributing it to the original source of the existence of the whole universe. We have to establish this. We shouldn't swallow this really tricky language. This cause and effect. Everything happens because of this, and because of this, and because of this. Because every moment is coming into existence momentarily. So don't think of the matter how God is busy with the universe. You cannot think of absolute. You have to think of the matter from your perspective. We have to think of the matter from our perspective. How can I explain my existence? Very simple. Whoever gave existence to the whole order of this universe has given me my existence right now, tomorrow another existence, tomorrow another existence. You have to memorize this word. يَسْأَلُهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ هُوَ فِي شَأْنٍ كُلَّ يَوْمٍ هُوَ فِي شَأْنٍ. Every moment, yawm, if you go every day, it's ridiculous. But because day is our concept. Yawm is any moment. Yeah, time concept. Yeah, or if you draw a vector which shows time, every point in that vector is yawm. Kulle yawm. Every moment. I was going to say kulle moment. Every moment. He is the one who decides. You cannot really explain the existence of anything else in another way. Man, you can't.
You can, it's just to me be wrong.
Oh, well, it's not explanatory. Okay, I can say everything, yeah. But, okay, so let's see the quality.
I was going to tie this concept into another verse in the Quran where I think it's described that like those who believe will look at everything around them and see proof of God's existence, whereas those who don't believe will look at those same things and they'll be blind to it. And I think that this is kind of what we're getting at here in terms of when we see everything in existence around us, we see its extraordinary nature because we can relate it back to that. We can like follow it all the way, all those cause and effects back to that original creation, which requires the creator, and thus that's our proof of God. Whereas if you don't do that, then the laws of physics and the cause of effect, whatever it could be sufficient for you, and you're blind to that original moment.
So we should not miss the point. We should never, I'm just, how do you say, taking up from where you left. We should never go back to the beginning of this universe saying that the Big Bang, whatever. Every moment is a Big Bang. Everything within this universe is taking in the form of a Big Bang, coming from what perfect order. And definitely a sign of the existence of the will behind it and absolute. Because if it wasn't absolute, wouldn't be able to give the existence to, we will study there. Now, here it is. The cooperation between the objects within the order now. The solidarity. Yeah? Everything supports. And the mutual response, because I need air, my lungs, it's there, and the sun, it is in its orbit. What are they? Sun has
Planets.
11, 12, what?
Planets.
And they need each other. Yeah, they need everything. And nothing, another sentence that we should never forget, nothing can exist in this universe independently. How the dependency needs to be explained. How we can explain the dependency. Now, I'm dependent on my wife's student here, on my wife, because when we first came here, she had the alaykum salam, she had the visa. I wasn't dependent on her, so I said I'm dependent on her, on my wife. No one can say the existence-wise. Never forget this. Existence-wise, no one can exist independently. Everything exists dependent on the conscious will of the creator of the whole universe. Because we see the order, the perfect order in the universe. Everything is dependent on each other. Everything is in collaboration. It's in contact with each other. So everything responds as if, is there I didn't want to go into the details. The Quran keeps telling about zawjain ithnain. It means two things together. Of course, if our mind is only if you don't think of ladies, if you think only the boys and girls, zawjain is boys and girls. Zawjain is everywhere in the universe. There is nothing which doesn't have its. Sorry?
It's opposite.
Opposite. I would say spouse. Complementary. Yeah. Complementary, dependent on each other, without which it means you cannot really take one thing out of the universe and study it independently. Those people who study physics know that. Yeah? You cannot say any single particle, and study it independently. That's what another trick of this positivist science or scientists studying the science is, of course, studying the ayat, signs of the Creator. But scientists use this cause and effect relationship and saying that we are explaining how the universe or the things are coming into existence, etc. That's one trick. Another trick is taking one part from the universe and pretending to be studying that part independently from its environment, which is physically impossible. But theoretically, you can say, theoretically, let's study the existence of this tree without referring it to its environment and put it in a lab and try to see the point-by-point events. But nothing, no point in this universe happens independently. So by isolating it, they say, we explained it. You cannot explain anything without seeing it within the context of the whole universe. That's why they are interrelated to each other. They embrace one another, and they all together form a unity of the universe in their existence. So you cannot really see that I exist independently. Can you? Even physically, if you are, try to remember your science studies in any science subject. You cannot take one object and focus on it independently. It's impossible. You cannot, for example, study me alone. I am surrounded by the air, gravity, electric or magnetic fields, everything. I am within the context of the whole universe. You cannot really study me, my existence or myself independently. Within the context of the whole order in the universe. And time-wise, every moment is also interlocked with each other. The universe is so perfect. And they may give a date, 13 billion years ago, doesn't matter, but 13 billion or 130 billion doesn't matter. The whole complex of the universe is given existence by one command, will of the Creator. Be and it is. What's the Qur'an says? Be and it is. Because the source is absolute. You cannot limit the source. You can understand this. So, whatever you see, you will say, I will say, we will say, this happened in this way within the universe because of the will of the Creator. So, if someone says, my classical example, why do you have 5 fingers in one hand? Will of the Creator. Comfortable. You cannot explain it in another way. Your genes are blah blah DNA because of the will of the Creator. But chromosomes because of the will of the Creator. Don't say chromosome did this. It came from phosphor. Phosphor came from there. No, it doesn't explain because of the will of the Creator. But you say, I am trying to understand the will of the Creator. Okay, how He willed? Huh? You come now to the truth. How He willed. Try to understand. And you are right. You can try to understand and see everything as a sign to His being absolute. You can see that. That's what the Quran keeps saying, that everything in the world is a sign to His qualities, absolute qualities, His attributes, His names. You know, everything is in the sign ayah. And the verse says, everything in the word is ayah. We created the word to be a sign to the Qur'an says, as the word of God. We created the things for not for nothing. رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا. You haven't not created for nothing. For what? To be a sign. If you say, I don't like, typical example, spiders. It is a sign to its creator as the absolute being. Study. Or spider, an atom. It's a sign to its creator that the creator is absolute. So, shall we carry on or what? Who is tired? Who's not tired?
How does he will?
Sorry?
So the question you posed, how does he will?
How does he will?
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
But if someone asks that question, if someone says, I'm trying to understand the will of the Creator,
Will of the creator?
how does he will?
No, I don't understand anything as far as the creator's nature is concerned. We cannot, we shouldn't. But what we have to keep ourselves busy or concerned with, look at the universe. I am seeing an atom here, or a tree, or I don't know, a creature, strange creature, whatever you say. Whatever you see, a piece of pebble or the stone, you can only attribute to the will of the Creator. Why is it solid? Because the Creator has willed it to be solid. Finished. So you cannot explain it in another way. But how I can see the manifestation of His will? You cannot think about absolute. You cannot look at the word from God's perspective. You have to understand that. We should never start any language, any sentence with God. We should end and conclude in our sentence with God. This will belongs to the Creator, God. That's the end. You cannot say God willed it to be. But God Himself says, I willed the universe to exist as it is. Do you understand? In His speech, I say, let me see it's true or not. If I could attribute anything, the existence of anything, to referring it anything else other than the absolute conscious will of the Creator, I would reject this first. That's my job is, I have to say, looking at, for example, Risale, he is created as a result of, he exists as a result of the will of the Creator. It is so beautiful. We have no time today. Inshallah, I'm going to stop at 8:30 at the latest, inshallah, to see that whatever exists in the world, whether you like it, you don't like it, your liking, your disliking, included, is the will of the Creator. So comfortable. You find yourself surrounded by God. Everything belongs to Him. You are as if, in the exhibition hall of the art of God. Everything, whatever you see, this is the thing that the Creator has made. Yeah? It's an art exhibition, isn't it? The whole universe. And you will be immersed with the manifestations of the absolute being, God. Everything. So you can explain the existence of everything.
I don't take your time, but I have a question mark about the cause and effect relationship. We reject the cause and effect relationship, but if we reject all of this, how we can explain the Sunnatullah? And how we explain the Mu'jiza? And there is another point, I'm sorry.
Just a minute, stop. Sunnatullah means, what does Sunnatullah mean?
I want to say another thing.
Confusion
If
of
we
language.
say there is commonly cause and effect relationship, and this cause is created by God, and this effect is created by God,
Yes.
and so this relationship is created by God.
Everything is created by God. That's why. There's
so,
no cause and effect.
So not determination, but we couldn't talk about the cause and effect relationship,
course,
but
we
not
cannot.
determination.
But we
This was the
only
question mark.
we can only see and talk about the effects caused by the one, caused by the one. So this language, cause and effect language, is fabricated, artificial language, imposed into our minds. So I can study how the will is manifesting itself. Don't say cause and effect. Don't say cause and effect.
It's about the concepts, I think.
No, that's why the confusion of Sunnatullah means everything is coming from him, and I can study how he is creating. Yeah, nothing else. Not how the things are affecting each other. It means one of them is a cause, the other one is an effect. Last week we were here. We established that what we call cause is in reality being created. We studied the verses under the guidance of the verses, pointing out to ourselves that we have to watch out for our languages. When we use this cause and effect, don't mention that you believe in God. No, because there is a cause and effect. That's it. Why do we need God? So that's why this concept is very important. What is it? Oh, no. Just a minute. This one. Yeah, sorry, this one. Rest in God means this. If you, once you start using the language cause and effect, you sent God on holiday. He is resting. What does it mean? If you can't send him to holiday, send him. You can't, because you cannot explain the existence of every moment. Every moment is coming into existence as a result of the will, absolute will, of the one who gave existence to the whole universe. That's why we cannot really use cause and effect relationship. But, of course, the way the things are ordered, I can study the order of God. That's called Sunnatullah. Yeah. So we have to watch out for our language. What we do, we use materialistic, I would say, but as if the things are affecting each other, and saying that I believe in God. If the things are affecting each other, why do you believe in God? It is stupid to believe in God. Because there's no need, but I'm explaining the things within themselves. So if an atom gains its existence because of the previous atom, okay, why do I need God? Because it happened because of the previous atom. It happens the previous atom is being created or given existence by the previous atom. And can it be? We have to ask the previous atom. Can the previous atom be the source of existence of the atom right now I am observing? Can it be the creator of the atom right now? I thought we discussed this last week. Somebody wanted to say something yet, Tarek?
So I'm still trying to understand this whole thing, but I have a question. So is it correct to also say that the cause and effect relationship cannot explain things because it cannot happen, cause and effect cannot happen without the existence of...
If you don't mind, I keep interrupting people. Shall I interrupt you to make the matter clear? The cause and effect relationship cannot explain the thing. This sentence is lacking something. Cannot explain the existence of thing. We have to emphasize on it. Existence is extremely important. You carry on now.
So the cause and effect relationship cannot explain the existence of the things
Yeah.
because this relationship cannot exist without time. It has to have time for it to
Come into
happen.
existence.
For something to cause something, it takes time.
So
And
what-
time itself is a part of the system, like you said, so it cannot be used to explain the system.
Yeah, but we have to be again careful when we say time, as if this language, of course, in our regular daily language, we use this sort of concepts. I understand that I use as well. But while we are reasoning, we have to be extremely careful about our language. So, as if time has an independent existence. There is no such thing. Existence, but be careful here. This is beautiful. If you understand this, you will be in peace in the world. The continuation of the existence is time. That's it, nothing else. There is no independent notion which is called time. This is made up stories. Really, this is the products of enlightenment, or whatever they call it, now, so 18th, 16th, 17th century onwards. People are reconstructing some terminologies in order to establish their philosophy, so that they will explain the universe, the existence of the universe, without referring it to God, or explain the existence of the universe referring to God at the beginning. So, not attributing my existence. If God is not my existence now, we will study all this in the following weeks, inshallah, God willing. So, if I am not attributing my existence to the source of the existence of the universe, it means I attribute my existence to my father, to my mother, or to the food I eat. Then I am so poor, so, I feel that I am the product of these things. Although these things are planned at the beginning by somebody, I don't know, 13 years ago he was busy, I don't know, he must be very tired, resting, whatever. It is irrelevant as far as our humanity is concerned. I have to know who my Lord is now. I have to know, I have to be aware that when I breathe in, I feel comfortable. If I don't breathe, I'm in trouble. So I have to say, who is giving me peace in my existence now, right now? So
that's what I was getting at. So there's no real time. There's no such thing as time for real, right?
No, not independent existent item. There is no such thing. Independent existent something there. For example, the glasses are existing, this, podium is existing, and there's something in time. There's no such thing. It's just a concept that we explain the sequence of coming into existence. We have to really have this kind of redefining our way of thinking, because we have been indoctrinated, brainwashed, certain way of thinking about the existence of the things. I don't really blame anybody, but I'm a little bit impatient by mixing up the language. That's why I keep interrupting people. Yeah. But if you don't mind, I'll say, if we really deny the cause and effect relationship, how can we explain the existence? How can we explain the Sunnatullah, for example? I'm not blaming any person. What does it mean? It's just mixture of all concepts. But if you say cause and effect, why are you talking about Sunnatullah? There is no Sunnatullah. Because the cause and effect. Cause means the reason of creation. So what is God then? Why do you bring God into equation? It's meaningless. But of course, if you don't say cause and effect, everything is an effect. And the cause is one cause. not the prime cause. This is stupid. One cause, the reason of the existence of this universe that I can attribute to, which it must be absolute one with an absolute free will and absolute consciousness, absolute qualities. I can attribute to all qualities I can see in this world to that source only. Do you want to say something? No? Shall we stop? I think we promised 10 minutes past. Sorry. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Inshallah, we will go more study, go on studying this step by step, and we will come. You will be surprised what the discussion will end up with. Inshallah. الفاتحة